Hey guys, Dale here, back with some more RimWorld, and you can see the game's a little choppy. We got quite a few people. Barb here is planting her plant child, so she and Janice have gotten together. So they're our first children of the colony that have become a couple and have actually procreated. It's probably been 20-ish days in game. We're towards the end of summer now since yesterday's episode. We just have a couple tiles that we need to work on down here, but we're pretty much good to go here. I've adjusted some of our farming, so we still have berry bushes kind of up here against the walls, but I added some rice to kind of border it. I have deleted tons and tons of growing areas. So we were growing all up and down here, all up and down here, some up here and in here. Just trying to get it so that some trees will start naturally growing in the base. We have been replanting some trees. I moved our fiber corn production down to outside the gate. We're in a pretty excellent spot with wood, especially after chopping down all the fiber corn over here, or pretty much most of it. And we're also in a really good spot with anima wood, which we can convert to regular wood. We have been in high brick production mode, pretty much constantly. I put in another just regular wooden mine shaft. And yeah, so temple's all done, basically done. We've started putting in some of the detailing around this, and I just unforbid the fine walls a little bit ago. So they've been working on that. I've also kind of rethinking our planting strategy to try and encourage more natural growth in here. Any places where I've seen some spotty rich soil, I've been using kind of our reserve of rich soil to just kind of beef it up a little bit. And so we're using the rich soil plots that we're putting down to put some growing areas around the map. We also I think we have a growing area here, so there are a couple that are just kind of bigger areas of growing that are a little bit more out of the way, that we're not allowing cutting in so that trees won't get chopped down in those areas. And then we are just fitting little patches of growing throughout the base. So we're growing some green beans here. I think we have carrots on the other side. We have some raspberry bushes we're growing here above the hospital. Just whatever random little nooks feel like we could utilize them for plots. So some sunflowers there, and then put some more bushes up here, and I think we're putting in Brussels sprouts in front of them. So if the base doesn't kind of fill out on its own, I know it does take time, we can draw from the forest. We can take some of those and bring them into the base just to make it feel a little bit more complete. I feel like the planting of so Barb would be a first generation colonist born into the city. The planting of our second generation feels like a huge milestone. Drusilla and Marin also laid another egg, and that egg will be hatching in 11 days. Baby wise, we have Dendron here. We have Gabby. Everyone else are children. Albus is probably going to be an adult soon. And our most recent adult is, I think, Zanny. Yeah, so Zanny recently aged up. And we probably need to recolor her outfit, it looks like. So I'm going to do what I can to get this all wrapped up and make it habitable for our incoming senators. And then we will work on those senator quests. So that's what we should be doing today. And pretty much, I think, just wrapping up the series. So welcome to the finale. Okay, we're making tons of good progress. It is the beginning of fall, though, so I want us to go grab those quests and hit the road before it's full-blown winter out there. I think we'll probably grab the senators. We'll assign them these beds up here. We'll finish construction of the Senate chamber, and then we'll just we'll review some of the families in the series, and I'll give a little recap of what my thoughts are. In addition to this construction, we've been emptying out all the decorations that we can, and just decorating random rooms. and just kind of like putting some finishing touches on the base. Down here, I pretty much just like this entire area. We're digging up all these trees, and we will use them to kind of flesh out the foresty vibe of our little grove city. So let me go ahead and get a caravan together, and we'll be back when we're selecting senators. Okay. I know it doesn't look like we have a lot left, but it's just like these are so much work and we have tons of pillars on top of the tiles, but we are rounding the corner. We are making it, I think, just a few curtains left for them to build. We probably just went through a bunch of anabrick for that. I have switched out, these guys are going to switch over to spitters. These will switch over to bark skin. These will switch over to spitters. I'm gonna switch these to medicine makers and berry makers. And we're just trying to reduce the amount of these guys we have because we don't need 8 trees making fiber for us anymore. Doing a little detailing work, and construction slowed down because we have all these trees that are being planted currently. So the base is filling out a little bit more on the forest. So we're getting there. Caravan has arrived, so it is time to open the senator screen. Request and request. Okay, so let's take a look at these. Both of them 2 stars. So Flaccus creature arrangement. Let's jump to that monster encounter. It's werewolves, and this one is, ooh, we haven't seen this before. What is this? This is Fogglers have powerful arms and claws like genetically engineered mega spiders, yet what makes them truly dangerous is their mastery of deception, beguilement, and disorientation. When in danger, a Foggler will release a dense cloud of smoke, making all ranged attacks unsuccessful. Okay, Necrophage Fogler's attacks have a very high infection chance, so we're going to send our rangers over that way. Actually, we'll get our rangers to do both of these. In the meantime, it was just a small caravan to go accept the quest, so we'll send them home. I think by the time they get home, we'll probably be wrapping up with this and hopefully get all these trees planted. So as soon as those guys make it home, we will head out for these last 2 quests. Okay, we did take on another tenant. We just had Lara use Word of Joy on him. We're converting him right now. He's been a little unhappy. I'm thinking if we get him converted to our ideal religion, he'll like love the magnificent city and being surrounded by forests. I think as long as we have like open beds in the Senate chamber, like we'll do tenants. And who is it? Spurious? No. Someone, Liliana and Sylvius got together, so that opened up this bed that we've stuck Otto in. Let's see, we just need like 65%. 66. He like went up a percent while we've been having the ceremony. Okay, so we got about like what, 30%? That's fine. We should be able to convert him pretty quickly with her ability as soon as it comes off cooldown. Okay, and Dendron became like a little fish child. He is very, very adorable. Okay, we're on the road with a pretty small group, but it is like our elite folks. So Thella, who like hopefully will just be kiting, and Novak, same. Fennec, Oren, Griffiel, Etrion, Nim, Nimu, and Domitia are our rangers. Arwynden, in case we need some stuns, and Doc because Thella is psychically bonded to him, and I don't want her slowed down while we're running from werewolves. Ooh, okay. Otto seems to love his stay and wishes to become a full-fledged member of your colony. Reject now, he won't ask again, so he won't do warden. He's is interested in it, loves mining. Okay. Let's go ahead and I guess let's accept him since we're working on converting him anyway. Let's get him out of the Senate chambers. We also took another tenant, Sayu here. She's a little deep gnome, so and we are doing the research so that I think we can put up boards to actually like let tenants know that we have extra beds, because we do. We have tons of extra beds now. We are in a good spot. Okay, and I just noticed that our Western Senate chambers are pretty much complete. We're putting in some extra lighting. We're kind of doing the same over here. So those are coming in. We also put some lighting out along our paths just so it's not super dark all night long. And then still just kind of like plowing through making a bunch of art and just like placing random art around the base. So one thing is that, like, we're not as dense as I would like us to be forest-wise, so I might go ahead and relocate more of the forest here, since we're done with, like, major construction projects. Okay, we've arrived, and they're basically, like, right on top of us. We have released our animals, so the stuns are great. Um, Go ahead and, like, hold fire. Got one werewolf down. Oh, and Alara was doing a trade. Okay, let's see what junk we want to get rid of. We're fine here. Anything interesting? Fireball staff. Um, oh, let's grab one of those at least. Ageless and extreme entropy capacity. That's pretty amazing. I think that's all we'll buy. I'm not sure who we will give the fireball staff to. Payment arrived. Okay, I'm like really bad at like looking at the payment because I just assume the senator is what we're getting. So that's from our trade. Our payment was actually just Venom Talons, and Severina has joined. Let's go ahead and let's get you in the right spot, Severina. So you're down here with the green senators. Severina. We'll do all that. We will grab this. Oh. You're a random Neanderthal, whereas like everyone else from that faction happens to be like a fawn or satyr. And work-wise, we will just grab one of these guys. Cool. So we are one senator away from our objective. So opinion of husband and wife is always 100. Everyone 3 mood, mental break, all positive. So the last thing we're getting is beauty of all sculptures and art pieces is basically 125%. And then we'll start getting silver from everyone. So let's see. We are still pumping out some random art pieces. I decided, like, I've always wanted this to be kind of like a town square, some kind of like gathering area. So I put a party spot down, put some seating and some incense, putting some rune stones down just to give it a little maybe like fey circle type of feel to it. But we'll do like a detailed review of the base. Let's go ahead and get these guys back. Actually, world. How much food are you guys gonna have? Would you be able to make it there? 3 days. Travel supplies, 0 days of food. Okay, let's get you guys home first. We'll resupply and then we will take on our last quest. Okay, so they have berries and plenty of meals and stuff, so I'm not sure why it was telling us 0 days of food, but it's been kind of buggy with the caravans. I'll make sure that before we head into the mountains, because this is probably going to be quite the trip, 3.3 days to get through the mountains, so it'll be, it hasn't been 3.3, like that hasn't been super accurate either, so it's probably 3 days. So 6 days total. We'll just make sure that we're bringing a lot of our like packaged meals with us. Okay, it looks like House Hess has turned up to attack us while our raiders are out. That being said, a bunch of them are the Malachi. Not a bunch, but plenty of them are Malachi vampires. They are just going to drop because of the sunlight. We're getting into defensive positions. We're short our rangers, though. Fleur, let's get you manning the front. Flack, let's get you down here as well. Okay, so gonna be good on this side. Coming up the road, you are pretty zippy. Are you jogger? No. Okay, and then Janice, let's have you right there. Coffee, and let's get you in here. Otto, you are new. Welcome to our ranger squad. Okay, and then Alara, you are, let's just have you like lay some explosions down right there. Are they doing psycasting on us? Interesting. Okay. Not sure how I feel about that. That being said, you do not have super range or anything. What are... Okay. I'll just like wait for people to get closer. And then why don't you do that? And that. Okay. Zanny, you can also like come down here. Actually, can you guys release animals? Let's do that. Saturn, get in here. Zanny, you get in here. Marin, can you do like a... You don't have very good visibility right now, and I don't either because the cat is walking in front of me. Can you do like a flash storm right there? Okay, Alara, we still good with explosions there? I think so. I think we're fine. Arius, let's have you get up to the gate. Oh, there is like so much crazy stuff going on. Okay, I think that's all the groups from House Hess leaving. You guys are like still trying to fight us, aren't you? Okay, Alara, why don't you come this way? Okay, now they're properly fleeing. Ooh, this guy like jumped way back, sanguiphage, so I assume that's what was going on there. Yeah, I don't see you as like magically gifted or anything. Okay, you guys are free to go. We lost one of our bark skins, but that's totally fine. Okay, this like flash storm is still going on. It's pretty crazy. Haven't used that before. It is... The weather effect is pretty wild. Barba, did you get hit by lightning? No, you got bruised in combat, so... Yeah, I'm not sure if it will like direct hit folks that are in there or if it's just completely random, but I haven't seen it hit any of our folks as we've gone to like gather all these trees that we dug up. Okay, that localized flash storm is over, so we're just having Marin call some rain down so we don't burn the entire forest down. Looks like we've damaged some trees. I know Alara probably like exploded some over here. Okay, caravans arrived home, so we are going to set up and go immediately because winter is coming. Okay, so rangers, let's grab all of you guys. Let's grab Hafler and Thella, just in case. We'll bring Arwynden again. We're going to bring Alara this time. That way we can just like head home immediately. And let's go ahead and we'll bring you guys again. Oh, there we go. And we'll bring all the spitters again too. Well, just one at a time. Yeah, so it says about 3 days. Oh, come on, game. Well, I'll let it do its thinking for a second. Okay, 2.4 days, and we're going. Actually, let's go back. Let's bring Doc again as well, just so Thella isn't slow in case we're kiting. Okay, looks like it's going to be 2.5 days. So, ooh, major teleport. Connect to... Okay, to an ally. So this is the first get back home. Okay, we have another virtuoso who's come by. This one is Blue Jelly, Marty Blue Jelly. He's clumsy. We will go ahead and accept him. Archery, melee, artistic. Welcome to the colony. Our caravan is basically there. So we should see them arrive shortly. Okay, we've arrived, and these guys are pretty hideous. There are 3 of them. Yeah, and so this map is the woods are so dense, and it's kind of interesting. They're gonna have to walk all the way around here. So we're gonna head right here. Give us a little space for kiting. Ooh, I don't know why the lighting changed all of a sudden. Maybe the day is getting... It's like 6 a.m. It's foggy. Arwynden, let's not have you fire at will, but let's have you... Actually, can we move up a little bit more? Okay, and then let's have you like firing right there. Does that hurt the trees? It does. Okay. Our like barrage of arrows is doing a good job like keeping them at bay. Where are the other ones? Where have they gone? Well, there's that one. They have not even like started heading towards us. I guess we'll head towards them and we'll go ahead and release the animals. Do we have someone that can release animals? Maybe we did not bring any of the owners of these animals. Okay, the boars are fleeing. These fogglers makes me very nervous that they're not coming towards us and that we're having to come in towards them. Okay, let's back up. Let's not exit the map. Okay, Arwynden. We have a Lara here too. She can also lay down some explosions. Okay. And we've done it. Okay. Everyone gather up. Our barkskin dryads. Oh, we're probably leaving them behind. Payment arrived. Let's go check that out. Component. Senator Hedeg. Jump to location. There you are. And Republic united. After gaining the support of all 3 parts of the Republic, it has united. It has now united under your rule, and you have now become emperor. The perk Veni Vidi Vici has been unlocked. So if we take a look at that, that is any pawn from any of the 3 republics will now be instantly recruitable. I think the republics also changed to our faction color, and we're permanently allied with them. So that's pretty powerful. Some things that we didn't do, we never used the beacon, which immediately calls like Republic reinforcements. But we did have that perk that had like reinforcements showing up for us like pretty frequently. It was only supposed to be 25% of the time, but I feel like it ended up being about a third of the time. Let me go ahead and reload the UI or reload so that I can get my UI back, and then we'll teleport these guys home. Okay, so we just got our first tribute from the Republics, and it looks freaking insane. I don't even... 100,000 silver, 150,000 silver. That's gonna be a problem. We're gonna have to just like dump that somewhere. Okay, and so I think just one last little colony tour before we say farewell to Arwynden. I guess we'll start here at the gate. This was a pretty good setup for us. I liked it a lot. I like that our melee folks were pretty involved in fights most of the time. I like that we had places to back up and get into cover. And then once we got the tables there, it was great seeing people like sitting there and using them instead of like just eating meals freestanding. Something that I always like to do is I try to keep my hospital close to where we're battling. And so this was felt like it was a very late addition. Usually the hospital building is like one of the first things I build is just kind of like a multi-purpose like storage barracks until we can specialize it into a hospital. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with this academy space. um, I like symmetry, and so I just reused the plans for the Senate building to kind of like create this. And then I wanted to differentiate it. And I also didn't want to cut some marble. So, kind of like bringing the outdoors into these spaces, but using invisible walls to like make them distinct rooms. So, like a proper nursery, a playroom, a classroom, and a lab. I really like the way that this ended up. The like individual bedrooms, like lots of work, considering like it's basically fine floors, excessive amounts of pillars, lots of materials. The drapes are like they're 150 cloth or whatever, right? But they ended up looking really, really great. I think this colony by far is like one of the prettiest colonies I've ever made. I liked making the extra big rooms for our primordials. And then this was something that I didn't think about until we built the first one, but getting some little single bedrooms going, planting some like bog beacon in there so that it's a little bit more lit and kind of trying to do that like bringing the outdoors in thing. I really like the way those turned out. I'm glad that we could repurpose these areas as barrackses. um, and I just really like the way our like earth or mountain temple turned out. Using granite in here, using these more like rune stones and more mountainous looking sculptures. I think this is an excellent tribute to Thela, who was kind of like the rock of our playthrough, our like primary tank, our warrior goddess, basically. The Senate, I was not sure how I would feel about such large buildings. I think they turned out really well. I really like the bedrooms. Um, I really liked planting the olive trees. I felt like, okay, olive trees in the Republic and making peace, that felt very symbolic. And it kind of broke this up a little bit to bring some of the outdoors into these like larger structures that felt just kind of like overpowering. So getting the plants in here, I really, really liked. The crown jewel of the colony is obviously like our forest temple, with a party room and a chapel, and of course Arwyn's quarters up here at the top. Um, I not sure how I feel about how we kind of like paid tribute to the animatry. I like that it kind of has its like own feature. I wish I would have done like a little bit more detailing, maybe like brought the floors all the way across, maybe tried to like round it out a little bit more, because I did really want it to kind of like look like the animatry was like enshrined in this structure, paying tribute to it. Uh the cookhouse like functioned as needed. We like crammed cooking tables in here. The freezers functioned as needed as long as I wasn't holding the doors open. Uh, like earlier in the playthrough, I think I had like 3 or 4 coolers in this one. And it was because like one of the ghost doors was held open and I couldn't see it because it's invisible. But once we got that sorted out, like these medieval coolers worked really well. Or actually, these are from like the vanilla expanded classical mod. So these classical coolers. I like that we were able to turn this into a big rec room and get all kinds of recreation in there. I like how the theater ended up. We put like a little relief behind it. We have some seating, but mostly it's just kind of just like area for them to chill out and watch a play. And I knew from like the beginning that we were going to have these like thermobaths and have like a proper bathhouse in the colony. So I've kind of like arranged colonists into like little family groups. So we have Arwen and her husband Caius up here. Janice and Barbie, they're like first generation born into the colony, and they are standing in front of what's soon to be the second generation born into the colony. So Barbie, obviously being the child of Seneca and Novak, and their sister Antonia down here, also Seneca's child. Thella and Doc ended up together. A very, very odd pairing. Are like warrior goddess with like he's a genie, right? Like he's a hybrid of some sort, but kind of like a genie. He's delicate, extra pain, kind instinct, like not capable of combat. She is his protector, and they had Horatio or Horatio, I guess I can't spell, together. Their little like pink-haired unibrowed child who, I'd be curious to see how he'd turn out considering like naked speed, rock body. And then further down here, we have Hafler and Octavia. I think Cecilia is like one of the first children born in the colony. She ended up marrying one of the senators, so Helvia here. We have all our single senators just like chilling over here in the Western Senate quarters. On the Eastern Senate quarters, we have a couple senators that have become involved. So Maxenius and Drusus, Liliana and Silvius, Avidius and Callia. Avidius and Callia were like the only senator couple that ended up having a child. So we have little Albus here. Looks very serious, probably going to follow in their footsteps. Nemu and Spurius got together. His face is so derpy and she looks so happy. And then also Graphiel and Verinia got together as well and got married. Down here in one of our barracks, we have Aqua and Nilo. Like the first thing Aqua did when she got out of like her addiction coma basically was hook up with Nilo. So good for him. He's just like a little lizard plant dude who has been doing a lot of, backbreaking work, keeping us in food and hauling things around, but not really like a highlight of the colony. Adu here is a Gith. We lost a Gith colonist really early on in the series. As soon as I saw that a Gith wanted to join us, I was like, oh, we got to bring him back. We got to keep him alive. So armored, dressed as a ranger, he is protecting our colony. Clanier, she was like a recruit from the Wood Elves. She was a little, what is it? We kept her like in the bathhouse as a prison way back when. And she's been around. She's not really had much going on for her. Sayo, our current tenant, she looks very unhappy. But she has extended her stay, so I guess she likes it well enough. Down here we have Oren and his family. So Oren's child with his deceased wife, Arius, he ended up getting together with Chestnut, who also lost her first husband. I think Saturn is actually Chestnut's child from her first relationship. But together, Oren and Chestnut ended up having Gabby and Italis. And then over here in the water temple, which we haven't actually looked at yet, I like the way this turned out. I'm a little sad that I had to use dev mode to add in the water. I just didn't have a mod that would let us like build water tiles, but filling it with water and then filling it with some statues as like meditation focuses, throwing in some reliefs here on some bridges. I really liked it. Relationships over here are a little complicated as well. So Luke had Fausta with his first wife who passed. And then Luke and Alara got together. I believe is Domitia older? No, they had Barba. And then at some point, they had Barba and then they had Domitia. And then at some point, Alara and Atrian got together. Or Alara cheated on Luke with Atrian. I think they're still marked as lovers and best friends. This was after Atrian's wife passed, but we had her in cold storage because we ended up resurrecting her. So Alara and Etrian had Maximus, but while Nim was dead, she was pregnant. And when we resurrected her, Sylvia was born soon after. Kaffian is also in a strange situation. I think, I'm not going to judge too harshly. I just think like Atrian and Nim have an open relationship because Kaffian is also Nim's lover. More power to them. And guess this is kind of just like a large extended family here at this point. Down here, oh my gosh, Tiberius, calm down. Oh, it looks like his mouth is full. Down here we have Drusilla, the only naiad in the colony. Other than our primordial naiad. So we have Drusilla and Marin who ended up together, which like felt very kismet, a little like creature of the water and a water spirit. And they had like a little nuclear family here, 2.5 children, 3 children. So they have Tiberius, Dendron, and what is your name? Ares. So Ares hatched, I think a little earlier this episode. I might not have shown it. Looks like he has some fins, but 3 boys, like Marin, our little colony himbo, turned out to be such a stud. But I think that's going to be it for this one. Sorry, this episode's late. It's just been like taking forever to get this one recorded with the bugs that I have to work through. And so there's a part of me that's like super relieved that I'm not going to be playing this again tomorrow. But there's also a part of me that is just like, I wish this playthrough would work for me to continue streaming or something. This is definitely a type of colony that I will want to recreate and a type of colony that I will want to play for a very, very long time. I just realized that we didn't talk about Fabi. Fabi and Ven ended up together and had Zanny here. So yeah, I think that rounds out all of our colonists. Fennec. We didn't talk about Fennec, who's just like chilling on her own. She never got together with anyone after breaking up with Thella. And then did she get back? Did she end up with someone who died? I don't think she did. I think she and Thella split up, and then Thella ended up with Doc, and it was just so weird and random. I mean, like a tiefling versus whatever this guy is. Very, very strange. Anyhow, I'm going to end here. I'm going to be taking a bunch of pictures of the colony. I'll get a post up on Reddit. I'll get a bunch of pictures up in the Discord. I'll put together a progress render for tomorrow. That's the only video that I'm going to do for tomorrow. Sunday, I won't have a video at the normal time. I'll have a video about midday, and it'll be the part 0 for our next series. And Monday we will kick off part 1, the premiere of our Winston Waves run, which is also going to be a tribute to some of our all of our colonies that we've had this year. So we'll be bringing back different characters as reunion allies. We've already done polls to see who our 3 starting colonists will be, but no recruitment, just reunion allies from our previous series. Winston Waves, we'll try and get them off the planet, and I think that's how we'll close out the year. As always, thanks for hanging out with me, and until next time, have a good one. Bye.